Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a hard look at a pretty massive flaw in modern corporate culture, and we're going to jump right in by challenging that whole up or out mentality. You know the one, right? Where only the people scrambling for that next big management promotion are the ones who get rewarded, supported, and recognized. But what about the stable experts who actually keep the lights on? Let's totally rethink talent and dive into what we call the master of the matrix.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the talent management trap and the Empower 180 matrix, then introduce the master, unpack their anatomy, cover the leadership actions you need to retain them, and finish up with the true value of expertise.
Section 1. The talent management trap, moving beyond up or out. Let's get into it.
To really understand this, we need to explore what happens when we completely ignore the stable experts holding everything together. It forces us to ask a really provocative question. Are we ignoring the most important people in our organization? So often, companies lose their absolute best talent, or they completely alienate their loyal experts simply because they're obsessing over one thing: promotion. The traditional model basically assumes that if you aren't moving up, well, you're moving out. And frankly, that is a huge mistake.
Moving on to Section 2, the Empower 180 matrix, a calibrated framework.
So, to solve this whole up or out problem, we introduced the Empower 180 six-box matrix. Think about those traditional 9-box talent grids for a second. They are notoriously complicated, highly abstract, and honestly just a massive headache for managers to try and apply consistently. The Empower 180 matrix, on the other hand, is simpler, it's sharper, and it is completely action-oriented because it's based on observable evidence. It brilliantly converts what is usually a vague talent discussion into actual, concrete leadership discipline.
The absolute crucial point here is understanding exactly what this matrix measures. It combines two critical dimensions: performance and potential. Now, performance is all about the here and now. It's your current delivery, your results, and the quality of your work. Potential, though, is about tomorrow. It's your future growth capacity, your learning agility, and your overall ambition. By assessing both of these, organizations avoid one of the biggest management traps out there: promoting someone just because they perform well today without ever checking to see if they're actually ready for future complexity.
Okay, take a look at this. Here's a quick, at-a-glance view of all 6 boxes that make up this talent map. At the top, you've got new support for recent hires who are just finding their footing. Then, strong growth and top potential. These are your rising stars showing clear readiness for that next level. Down on the bottom left, you have coach and manage for clear performance gaps, and coach for acceptable performers who just need a bit more development. But scan all the way down to that very last row, the master. This is where we find highly reliable, sustained performance coupled with deep, deep current role value. This right here is our main focus today.
Section 3. Enter the master, the unsung heroes. Let's really zero in on our primary focus and celebrate the employees who aren't necessarily chasing a promotion but are absolutely essential. A master is an employee who is a reliable expert in their current role. They provide stability, quality, and functional strength. And what makes this framework so incredibly powerful is that it values deep current contribution regardless of future ambition. They don't want to be the boss. And you know what? That is perfectly okay.
I absolutely love this principle straight from the source material. The organization must recognize mastery, not only promotion potential. This matters so much because it's a huge wake-up call to leaders and HR professionals. These expert contributors, they aren't just placeholders waiting to be replaced by the next up-and-comer. They are the literal foundation of your operational success.
Section 4. Anatomy of a master, the evidence of expertise. So, how exactly does an employee become a master? Well, they demonstrate some very specific, undeniable traits. They consistently deliver dependable results. They solve complex, role-specific problems. They naturally support others with their deep well of knowledge. They rigorously protect your standards and quality. And above all, they provide stability. Think of that one IT wizard who keeps the company's servers running flawlessly, but wants absolutely nothing to do with managing departmental budgets or sitting in on endless strategy meetings. They act as the anchor that strengthens your overall team results. If you manage a team, I guarantee a specific name just popped into your head, didn't it?
And we really have to remember this point. Masters are strategic assets, even when they are not actively seeking leadership roles. Look, separating these high-level expert contributors from your genuinely low performers is exactly what makes this entire Empower 100 model so incredibly practical and fair. Just because someone isn't climbing the corporate ladder doesn't mean they're stuck. It means they've reached a plateau of mastery that brings immense, irreplaceable value to the business.
Section 5.
Leadership actions for masters, recognition and retention.
Because honestly, talent classification is completely useless unless it actually leads to action. So, for your masters, the playbook is very clear. First, you need to actively recognize their deep expertise. Please don't let it go unnoticed. Second, take deliberate retention action. Never ever take them for granted just because they're reliable. From there, you need to build distinct expert pathway opportunities so they can continue to grow laterally. And finally, assign them to mentoring roles so they can spread that hard-earned knowledge across the rest of the team.
On top of that, leaders have got to provide continuous upskilling. Look, just because they are masters doesn't mean their learning stops. Their craft is always evolving. You must involve them in training others too. By doing this, you maximize their functional strength and you distribute their specialized knowledge across the rest of the organization, effectively multiplying their impact.
But how do we actually operationalize all this? Well, it requires a strict decision rhythm. Leaders need to review these specific actions for their masters on a quarterly or semi-annual basis. This is not just some label you slap on someone during an annual review and then totally forget about for the next 12 months. Sending a consistent rhythm ensures this expert talent is actively retained and that their lateral pathways are constantly being evaluated.
And finally, Section 6, the value of expertise, moving forward.
Bringing this explainer to a close, the true power of the Empower 180 matrix becomes crystal clear. Mastery is not a stepping stone, it is a sustainable organizational capability. Embracing the master profile converts your everyday talent discussions into strategic retention, deeply protecting the most reliable experts you have.
I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Are you actually rewarding your experts, or are you just pushing them out the door by ignoring them? Take a really hard look at how your own organization truly values the masters who are holding it all together. Do you have a place for them to shine, or are they falling victim to that classic up or out trap? Thanks so much for diving into this framework with me today. Keep exploring the incredible potential within your teams.